Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Today we are going to be doing a Mandelorian Beskar Pauldron, and by Beskar Pauldron I mean two Beskar Pauldrons because I have two arms. Originally the pattern only called for one, but I'm trying to do a more armored looking Mandalorian build, so I decided to go with two. I wasn't sure how it would turn out at first, but the end result, I was left with glee. I was so happy. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. This is one of a multi-part series I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing the entire start to finish armored Mandalorian cosplay, and I'm not doing the Mandalorian. I'm doing my Mandalorian. So I found a base model pattern on Etsy that I'll be adding on to. So hopefully it'll come out okay. But I'll kind of keep you guys in on the whole process. So I'm probably going to be time-lapsing a large portion of it just because it's a lot of mundane. But I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you at the end of the video. So the first step I do is I actually start by putting clear cellophane tape over my own patterns. This adds a little bit of rigidity to it and helps me work with it a little better, so that way it doesn't like fray at the edges or rip or tear or anything like that. It also helps me use it in the future, so that way it doesn't get ruined with my marker or anything like that. So it might be kind of tedious, but honestly it's a step that I never regret taking, even though it takes a little extra time. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of speed through this whole part because this is not exciting. Alright, so next up, we're going to be taking all of our cutout patterns and tracing them onto our foam. I know I might look a little focused here, but that's only because I want to make sure everything has a nice, crisp, good line, because it's only going to help our final product come out much, much better. I find that if I spend the extra time and really try to get all my cuts straight and make sure the angle's appropriate and everything, it leads to much less follow-up work with the rotary tool. It leads to cleaner seams when you're gluing things together, and overall it's just going to make your time a little easier. So yeah, so I'm going to trace out all of our armor pieces here, and I'll see you when we're all done. Tip of the day, working with especially the 10mm high density foam. I don't know why, but a white Sharpie paint marker, you'll even see there, white paint marker is not going to focus because that's my life. Anyway, white paint marker, you can get it from any craft store or any, I would imagine, Staples or just office supply store, but getting it onto actual thing, like I showed you, it's just, it gives you a very crisp line, and it doesn't fade. So what I'm trying to say. It's really good. So if you're having trouble getting things to stand out on your patterns, I really recommend a white paint marker. I tried the silver Sharpies, but honestly, it was disappointing. I felt like it dried out very fast, and it left impressions on the foam which were present on the final look, and I didn't like it. So I decided to go with this, and I've never regretted it, and it lasts a very long time. And you know you're in the right place when you hear that. If you don't hear this, it's not right. That rattle. Okay, so I have all of my pauldron pieces cut out. I'm just going to go over all of them with a sanding bit, just to make sure the edges are nice and smooth. Some of the cuts got a little rough, just to make sure that when I glue them, they fuse together very nicely. And then I'm going to go through and heat form it a little bit, just to help with the shape. I find that when I don't heat form it first, I get a lot more seams, where the glue kind of pulls apart a little bit. So I'm going to try to help it along a little bit by doing some heat forming, and then I'll do the gluing, and then get everything put together and hopefully get something to wear by the end of the day. So before I got gluing, I just went over the edges of the main pieces with my rotary tool. I just did this to make sure everything was nice and flat and it would be flush. Some of the cuts got a little rough when I was cutting it out, so I just wanted to make sure everything was nice and smooth. And yeah, that was pretty much it, just making sure all the edges are nice and straight so that way gluing is much easier. Also, what I'm going to do before I start gluing is I'm going to actually start heat forming my larger pieces. By doing this, there's a lot of methods to getting a nice curve. There is such a thing called a foam anvil, but honestly, I just like to use my knee, like you can see right here. My knee is plenty curvy, it's plenty rigid, it's plenty sturdy, and it's free. So yeah, just get your foam nice and warm, not too hot, and then just kind of mush it down on your knee to get that nice curvature. And I'll show you here in a second. Boom. Just a little knee work, a little more working. And I'll do the same thing on these next few pieces, and then I'll be ready to start gluing once it has a nice curvature to it. Alrighty, now we can get gluing. So the important part here is we're going to be doing a nice, even, thin coat for any side that you want cemented together. Now, the challenge is not getting it too goopy. Like you see that I have there on the first part, there's way too much there. So I'm going to be spreading that out much more. Because if your coat's too goopy, it'll actually not come together very well. And so another important thing is you need to make sure you wait at least 5 minutes between coats, and then wait at least 5 to 10 minutes before you put everything together. You want it to feel like there's not even really adhesive on there. If you feel it and it's nice and sticky, it's not ready yet. If you feel it and it is barely sticky or not even sticky at all, that's when you know you have it right. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but that's just how these products work. Alright, now comes the fun part. So when first putting your pieces together, you want to make sure you're putting those edges together very, very carefully. The edges are the most important part. That's what's actually that's what shows everything. So you're going to want to use your hands to kind of bend the foam at the same time you're putting it together, and this is going to give it that overall curved look that you're going for. So this part you do not have to rush. Take as slow and go as slow and take as much time as you need to get it right. I've never regretted taking too much time to make sure something was right. And see, and notice I'm using my fingers, my main fingers, not my thumbs, to kind of smush everything together. And right here, making sure our end goes together perfect, just like that. And then there we have it, is our first piece of our pauldron coming together pretty nicely. Alright, so I got my pauldrons together, or at least the first two pieces, and I'm honestly kind of surprised how it went from a flat piece to a regular looking piece. I just have the tape there to keep it in orientation so it doesn't stretch back out. But like, I'm really pleased with just how these two pieces came together. It's always funny how when two pieces that have like a convex curve come together, all of a sudden they make something just with a very specific shape. So I'm really happy about it. So up next is the ridge that we're going to do on top of it. So this is our pauldron. It's going to be a ridge that extends from right up here, oh, tape fell off, to right down here, so that way it gives it some definition. I just wanted to take this time to thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you even giving me any of your time. So please consider commenting, and subscribing, and also following me on some of my other social media platforms so you can see progress for my various things in real time, as well as watch me stream on Twitch. Sometimes I'll do things like this live, and I'll also go into video games or anything like that. I'm kind of a whatever you want kind of guy. So I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I thank you guys for hanging out. Let's get into the video. Again, the edges are the most important part, so I'm putting it together. Focus on your edges. And also, gauge your length before you start thumbing it down, because if you realize that your piece is short, you can do something about that up here. You cannot do something about that down here. So, for instance, when it's going down, mine's looking a little short. So as I'm pressing down, I'm going to be stretching with this, so that way I can meet, and again, be very careful with my edges, so I can meet where it's supposed to curve. Boom. Just like that. Sometimes it's almost like I know what I'm doing, but not quite. Again, here, edges, most important. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this side on first, so that way I know how much room I have. Not there. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased with it. I mean, come on. Oh man, just I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. It looks great. It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic. I'm so happy with it. On to number 2. Sorry, sometimes I can't help but laugh when something comes out like I intended it. It's just so surprising when it actually comes out right. A little short. Just gonna pull back a little bit. Again, edges most important. I want to get them clean lines. There we go.
go. We're getting it. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. Okay. There we go. Cosplay. Man. Went from flat pieces to this. Couple hours. Not bad for a couple hours of work. There was one of them that I didn't quite get right. I think it was this one. Ugh.
All right, awesome. We did it. I didn't know how it would come out, but I'm super excited. I'm really happy with it. I probably just need to do some rotary work on the edges because obviously nothing is naturally this perfect right angles. So just gotta drumble those down a bit, clean up the edges, the sides, like things like that. Didn't quite come together quite right, so I'm gonna just put little sealers and things like that to just, well, put a little sealer in there and then also Dremel it just so that way it's all one nice flat edge. So, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. Like really happy with it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This has been the Beskar Pauldron assembly. I'm not going to do the paint and stuff yet. I'm going to wait until I have all the armor pieces done and then just do one awesome paint video, I think, where I can just do them all, make sure they're all the same color or the same tone and everything like that. But alright, next up in the series is going to be the Beskar chest armor, which I'm looking forward to because gotta get that up there, which I think will go nicely with these. I mean, they came together so well. Like, I can't wait to get it all on. It's gonna be so much fun. Ugh, man. Alright, well, thanks everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate it. I hope I was able to teach you something, or I'd hope you were able to take something away from this video. If you saw anything that I was doing incorrectly or that I could be doing better, please post it in the comments down below. I really appreciate it. I'm far from perfect. but just trying to do better than each day. So I hope you all have a fantastic day. I hope you have some awesome projects that you're working on. If you are, again, please post them down in the comments below. I love seeing other people's progress. I love seeing other people's work. So until I see you next time, you guys have a great one.